Hello artists. In this video I'm going to show you part one of creating a DaVinci flying machine. There are two parts to the flying machine. There's this main prism part that is made from this sheet here, and then the wings, which you're going to use two pieces of paper for that. So to start, you want to start with this piece here. It has a rectangle which ends up being the bottom, just to give you an idea of what you're going to be drawing and where it will be. And then the triangle sides. Now in each of these I have created what it might look like inside of a machine. So I have kind of some windows with levers and buttons. I have wheels. I have just, it says the motor with a belt and some gears and some more gears. And just creating designs around that. I also use two different types of Sharpies. I use the thicker Sharpie that has the rounded cap. And then there is the thinner Sharpie that has the flat. So there you can see the point, and it has the flat top. You're going to use both of these today. You're going to want to create some areas that have bold and like the outline here of my triangle, and then some that have more detail. So to start, I would think about when you look into something, a lot of times it has a frame. So I like to do a little bit of what I call inlining, where you make the same shape but inside of it. So kind of like outlining but the opposite. So I'm going to go inside of my triangle shapes to start and just make like a frame or windows that I can see into this flying machine that I'm going to come up with. Now once I've made all my triangles, and I'm just going to do two here for my example, I would do each of these. Then I start thinking about, well, I like this idea of making the circles kind of like metal rivets. By adding these little circles everywhere, it looks more like it's pieced together with metal, which I kind of like that idea for a machine. You can do this, or you don't have to. So you can just do like little polka dots for rivets, kind of like the nails going in for your machine. Or like I had done on that one, they could be circles. Each triangle could look maybe a little different. So you maybe want to do circles on one, and on the other you just want to do these dots, like they were nailed, the metal was nailed together. The next thing I need to decide what is in each of these windows. So I may decide, like I did before, that I want some wheels or gears. So I might just start with a basic shape of a circle. And then I'm going to do kind of like a castle line, like you see on the top of a castle. And we've talked about different types of lines. And this I'm going to do around a wheel shape, which is a little trickier. But then maybe there's a smaller wheel that is going to be linked to it to make these gears. And this also is going to have the castle top. And then inside of this, maybe I want to add a little more detail, so I have another little dot. Now I could keep doing this, so this whole thing maybe is gears. There's going to be a large one in the corner with some big castle lines going around. Maybe I'll make another row here. Okay, so I'm going to keep building this up. In this one, maybe I want all the buttons, so I'm going to have an on switch, and over here I have an off switch. And I can make them 3D if I want to make them kind of stand out, like they're coming up, like you could push them. And then maybe this is like the panel, and we have some different kinds of lines filling up, and this is where you can start to get your more detailed. So if I want some shadowing, or maybe I just want to add some lines to this that are a little skinnier to really make this kind of stand out. And in the background. Okay. So you can see two different types of buildings. This one I feel like I need something in the background, so maybe there's like belts going around this. So I'm going to make some curvy lines that are going around our gears. And I can fill it up that way. Okay. So I do the same thing with the other two and fill in the bottom as well. For the wings, I am going to first come up with a basic shape for my wings. Wings could be a long triangle, it could be curvy, so I can come up with, maybe I just want to do a basic triangle wing, and then it's going to kind of curve at the bottom. So there's my kind of small wing, or I could decide, you know, I want it to be more like a bat's wing. So I'm going to have it angled here and I'm going to have some curved lines to connect them. And this is where it's going to be connected to my machine. And I want to add some lines into this. So I'd make one wing and kind of plan it out if you want to use a pencil and then Sharpie it, so you kind of can erase if you want to. If you're like, yeah, I started like that with the Sharpie and I didn't like it, so then you start it again, you can do that. So then what you want to do is you're going to match it with another piece of paper. So I'm going to match it with this one, and then I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to be cutting out this shape and this shape. And that's as far as you're going to get for the first day. Get your name on the back of both of them, and you're going to just paper clip them together. So you have 2 wings designed and the prism or main body of your machine designed. That is step 1.